The story started out as a short story that I post on my blog because I have a blog where I post short stories, flash fiction, poems. So it was just an idea that I had. I said, what if a brother and sister are transported to another world? And so from that, I started to play on it, and then it became this book.
I've known you for a while, and I know this has been going on for like 7 years, writing this
Yeah.
for 7 years. As you're growing, your mind keeps changing, etc. How did you hold down some of your ideas from 7 years ago, merging it with the ideas that you have now? Or are they mostly the ideas you had from 7 years ago and maybe like a few new ones added?
Yeah. They're the ideas I had 7 years ago, but it really morphed. It really changed as I changed as a person. Because I remember times when I was editing, proofreading, I was like, I don't really feel this way anymore.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I think my protagonist really suffered for it. I really put my protagonist through the ringer because I didn't want it to be the cliche story of you overcome the negativity if you believe, because sometimes you believe and you still don't overcome. In my life, I've seen that.
Yeah.
But the point of the story is, at what point do you give up,
Ooh.
or how hard do you fight until you defeat the darkness, defeat your enemy? How long do you push through? And for what purpose do you push through? Are you pushing through for your own sake, just to feel good, or because you have people you are fighting for? Because if you do not push through, then you cannot overcome. If you do not push through, people's lives are on the line. So I feel as if in that way, as I changed as a person, the story changed in little ways, but I feel as if it made it more, it rounded off the story more.
So you talk about your protagonist. Tell us a bit about that protagonist.
Okay. My protagonist is called Ebony,
Okay.
but her real name is Esther.
Hmm.
Now, Esther loves to sing. The one thing she wants to do in this life is to become a music star. And she can sing, but the problem is that she's not the conventional Nigerian daughter. She's not successful.
Hmm.
She's not good at school. And her father and her brother keep reminding her that, okay, this isn't realistic. You want to be a singer. The world is not like that. Don't expect that you are going to be a star. So that is the pretext of Ebony's story.
Hmm.
Ebony goes for this audition. She's really excited about this opportunity to let my voice shine, to be a star. And then she finds a portal that takes her to another dimension, into the world of Xylem. And in the world of Xylem, her challenge is no longer you can sing, you cannot sing. Her
Yeah.
challenge is more life and death.
It's a different thing entirely.
Yes, there is a prophecy, and she has to save the world of Xylem because it's going to be destroyed.
Hmm.
And so she carries along those her insecurities of the normal world, where, okay, I can't get a job, or I
Hmm.
can't find someone, I can't find a man, and like I did not succeed in school, I do not stand out. She carries all those things, and those fears, they are duplicated because she's in a world where she has to literally stop a very powerful fool, and she's questioning if she has the ability to do
Do that.
so.
Why the name Xylem?
Xylem now, okay?
It's a very fancy,
Yeah. So what
fancy
a
name.
xylem
Yeah.
is a part of a tree,
Hmm.
yeah, that carries nutrients, water from the soil up into the leaves and branches. And now my world in this fantasy is the world of Xylem. In the world of Xylem, there is a giant tree called the Great Tree, and the Great Tree is like the spiritual figure of the world, and it's literally holding the world together from
Hmm.
being destroyed. And without spoiling too much about the story, the goal of the antagonists, the goal of the villains, is to destroy that giant tree.
Hmm.
So when I say a quest for Xylem, it's talking about protecting, preserving something that holds people together. And it also has a double meaning because, like when you talk about a tree, tree signifies life, tree
Hmm.
signifies beauty. And so even within Ebony is the way that her character perseveres to blossom, to grow even despite adversity.
Okay. That really explains the entire book cover as well.
Yeah.
The choice of sakura plants and
Yeah.
all of that. I get that. Tell me the challenges that you faced doing this, because you're a self-published author
Yeah.
at the moment, and I don't think it's going to be easy regardless. Yes. So what were the challenges that you faced?
Wow, there were so many challenges
Mm.
in bringing this book to life. Firstly, starting from the writing in itself.
Okay.
As you said, I'm self published, and I decided to go into self publishing because I had been submitting to publishers, both internationally, nationally, and they kept saying that, yeah, your story is not what we want.
Okay.
So I told myself, if it's not what you want, I'm going to create something that I
I
want.
want.
Yeah. So I started the self publishing journey with the writing. It was very challenging for me because I hadn't written anything this big before. I've been writing for years, but mostly short stories. The last one I wrote, Reverse Falling, is just
Mm.
about like 50,000
It was
words.
more of a smaller book than this,
Yeah, it's a
remember?
smaller book. So I hadn't written something of this size. So the writing was a challenge. When I finished writing the book and I gave it to one of my friends to better read it, the criticism was really hard. She was like, "Oh, so many errors," and which is understandable because I'm doing it all myself. I don't have the editors and everything to push me through.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go back to the drawing board and rewrite the entire
Entire
story
thing, yeah.
again, educating myself about writing techniques and like the conventions of modern writing and all that.
Mhm.
And then after the writing, the editing, it was self-edited. So I had to edit it myself, knowing that I was self-editing. I knew that some mistakes could slip through.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I would go over one paragraph like 6 times. I'm not kidding you. I had to go over it, which was really
Wow.
challenging,
Yeah.
over and over again. And then the publishing. Publishing, self-publishing in Nigeria, we don't really have like a foundation of self-publishers. Everybody is just on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not even have reference from the
Mm.
ISBN number to getting printers to
Mm.
finding platforms
Mm-hmm.
that I could publish my book. I thought, okay, we have Okada Books, we have BAM Books. I checked out, Okada Books has closed down.
No way.
Yeah, BAM Books too has closed
Oh
down. It's like,
my.
wow, so where do I host these
Weeda
books?
books. Weeda books. I
Oh,
mean,
I've
they're
never
really
heard of
printing
that.
as well. Okay, we
Yeah.
still have a couple, but it's sad that Okada books has shut down. They're
Yeah.
really doing well. Okay, these are a few challenges that, because I'm sure the challenges could be bigger than. I'm sure you've gone through a lot
Yeah.
from printing to editing
Yeah.
to, and that's just for you alone. I had a follow up question. Oh yes, so when you write this book, you also have an e-copy, right?
Yeah.
Of this, okay. When you wrote the book, did you have like a particular audience that you wanted them having a feel of this book?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this book is young adult fiction.
Mm.
So my audience is like 20
Mm.
to 30-year-old, but there are actually serious themes in it, like themes that can benefit an adult. So the long and short is that for anybody, it's a book that can go for anybody. I was really intentional about making the book clean.
Okay.
I didn't want any sexual content or
Yeah,
like,
nothing explicit
yeah, nothing
basically. Mm.
explicit. I just wanted content that anybody could read and enjoy the story and then
Yeah.
enjoy the themes too.
So it's for both young and
Yeah.
young adults, old. Either way, if you're into fantasy or
Mhm.
this kind of, I feel like this is a book for you.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have like one paragraph for like 6 times, I wonder how many times you must have read the entire
Yeah.
book. So, what particular place do you find more fascinating?
Oh.
Yes,
There's one scene that I
you have to
really,
read it for me, by the
yeah.
way. Okay.
There's one scene I really enjoyed writing.
Mm.
So the chapter is chapter 24 and the page is page 207 on both the ebook and the
Hard copy.
paperback, the hard copy. Eddie had faded into the forest, using the shadows to conceal himself. The further he went from Scyther and the hole, the quieter and denser the forest became. He slinked past trees, adopting a humanoid form that maximized stealth over speed. As he made his way back to the edge of the forest, he sensed the disturbance of the human searching for him. It would have been bad news if the human had returned to the camps to gather more soldiers to investigate. He needed him alone and vulnerable. Bingo! Arias spotted him just a few feet away. The man crouched beside the tilled soil, the evidence of Ariad's earlier burrowing. Locking in on his position, Ariad made a quick mental calculation of the distance, then silently sank back into the earth. He swam through the dirt, positioning himself precisely. Then with sudden force he burst from the ground in stomp form, slamming into the captain and knocking him off his feet. The man cried out as he crashed against a tree trunk. Eria didn't hesitate. He charged the stunned man where he lay, his arms now bristling with sharp branches. He went for the kill, but the captain was fast. His sword met Ariad's strike mid-air, steel clashing against bark. The captain pushed back with all his might, and the dryad was forced to retreat, slinking once more into the soil.